Hello everyone, welcome on back. An episode of the Aternos Minecraft, coming to you from Vault 916 Research Lab. And today, built some machines since the last video. Go ahead and show those to you. And then we'll hopefully be working on the nuclear reactor. Not to be tried unless you're in creative. Unless you have a hazmat suit. But anyways. Oops. Yes, I think I just kind of gave away one. But anyways. The biggest change so far, this is the crafting lab, is that I moved the sawmill over, so I now have the sawmill, the compressor, the magic workbench, the smelter, which I use on almost a minute basis now, 2 advanced crafting tables because I'm always needing more than one, an armor forge, and a pressure chamber. And then the biggest changes, as I said, is this right here. Looks like a regular craft bench. However, this is a charging bench. This is for tools that need a charge, or the jetpack. And the one next to it is an electric ingot pulverizer. And what this will do is this will take an ingot and transfer it into dust. Which is very helpful. And then we have our masher, which I have gone over in the previous videos. An electric furnace, so obviously defines itself. Then we have an electric gold pan. Now, if you recall, I used to have a auto panner over there, plus an ore crusher, and then I went ahead and removed those and made this electric gold panner. And this will take a stack of gravel and obviously filter it down without having me to sit there and hit the wooden trapdoor and give potential people seizures. And then we also have an electric dust washer, which again, you take the the sifted ore. You put it into the dust washer, and it will filter out the different items. We also have an electric ore grinder. This machine actually does 2 things. It works as a grinder / crusher, which is very helpful. So in my instance, I'll take a stack of netherrack and run it through here, and I'll get sulfate for the various things being built. And then I finally got around and was able to build the heated pressure chamber that's needed in order to make the blistering ingots for the nuclear reactor. Now, all of these machines, except for the masher, run off of actual electricity, which is measured in joules. And as you can see, there's a node right there. Break this part of the floor, and there's a node right here. Why isn't that one? Ah, okay, I see why. And these are small capacitors. They'll hold 128 joules of power apiece. And this one is obviously off, and that one up there is obviously off because I think it's nighttime. 13, yeah, it's nighttime. So let's make it day. As you can see up there in the upper right hand corner, it's daytime now. And that capacitor filled. And this one should fill here any moment. Yep, there it goes. Yay! And then once the nuclear reactor is built, then I won't have to wait around for these to charge up. I'll go ahead and break this one here, to show this node network is actually really nice. I've temporarily built a large. Get rid of these guys here real quick. Hey, off my solar panels. Only one of the bad things about being in the desert is that you get the villager zombies, or the desert villager zombies. But anyways, I've temporarily built these solar panels until to deliver power until I can get the nuclear reactor up and running. Oops. But these go from, and each one of these generates 4 joules of power. Now, if I wanted to, I could upgrade these but I didn't see the need as they're only being here used temporarily. And this is a energy regulator, which then obviously then goes to the small capacitor. Oops, which then goes 6 blocks down to another capacitor, because the capacitors will only go in lengths of 7. So this capacitor and this capacitor are exactly 7 blocks if you count the block that's in front of it. And then down here I have 2, 3, 4, 5, so that the capacitor will then send energy out this way and out this way. Oops, so I will go ahead and cover this back up. Because I really don't like creatures spawning where they're not supposed to. Yeah, I'll leave it like that. Okay. Then I haven't really made much changes to any of the other rooms. This one is still blank. That one's still blank. I did remove the citizens NPC pack and the 2 other plugins that went with it. I just couldn't get that system to work by itself right out of the box. I mean, the NPC would literally just stand right here and look at the ground. Sometimes it would look up like this, but it would mostly look at the ground. And then if you approached it, obviously it said a message. And that was about the extent of it. So I'm actually looking for a better NPC plugin to put so I can have NPCs in here that's updated enough to be approved by Aternos. Sorry. But in here is the magmatic engine, because this is the lava lab. I have the lava generators in here as well. And obviously the only thing that magmatic engine powers at the moment is this masher. Literally. And I think I've only used that masher like maybe twice. I went ahead and removed the crafting table and the anvil plus the chest that was in here. Once the reactor does get built, I will have chests in here for the cooling rods and the other parts that make up the reactor. But not until then. Walk the rest of the vault here, make sure nothing else has gotten through. Okay, I think Sage was working on this. Or she was working on it and then stopped working on it. I really don't remember. Yeah, I'll leave that as power and water. And this is obviously a classroom. You know, there's also another plugin out there that will actually turn a set of stairs into a usable seat. However, again, I'll have to find it and see if I can get it approved. Generally, if a plugin has an update of either 2018 or possibly late 2017, they'll approve it, but it's on a by case basis. Whoops. Haven't done much with the cafeteria. I do plan on putting some kind of processors in here. I mean, there's, you know, the Slimefun book is full of them. I mean, let's see, we have. And then I've also been tempted to build and test out these androids. These are programmable androids. This one does farming. This one does wood cutting. This one does fishing. This one does butchering or slaughtering. I'm not quite sure. I guess if you have a large pen area of animals, then I guess that would fit. And then we can it'll probably be these advanced programmable ones, just to see how well they work. Excuse me. We also have a food fabricator that produces organic food. Again, that'd be something that I would put here in the cafeteria. I'd also probably put a no, I don't think I'd put a food composter in here. I'm not quite sure where I'd stick that just yet. We have EXP collectors, crop growth accelerators. Most definitely I'll probably stick the freezers over here. Carbon press. And we also obviously have the electric smelter. It does alloys only though. It does not smelt dust into ingots. I don't know if there's a way to go into the configuration for them. and actually set them up so that they can smelt dust into ingots. Because in all honesty, an electric smelter that is able to just sit there and turn dust into ingots is actually 10 times easier than sitting there and playing with the smelter and having to hit the netherrack every time it goes out. And we also have a wither assembler, which I haven't quite figured out what that does yet. And to be honest, I still haven't made it. Over to explore around the Nether. Haven't explored the end. So to the best of my knowledge, there's still an Ender Dragon. You know, just things that we haven't, you know, messed with. Well, hello there. Fill this hole here real quick. Oh no. And this is actually an issue that's been going on lately. I don't know if it's something with my computer, or if it's Slimefun or Minecraft in general. But if I'm taking an item and attempting to move it to one spot, like from taking the rotting flesh or putting it where the stone was, sometimes it'll replace the item, but it won't actually give the item back. So it's kind of like Minecraft ate it. But fortunately enough, in creative mode, it's not that big of an issue. I could see it'd be, a major issue if if you were in survival and that kind of thing happens. It'd be cause for alarm or whatnot. Okay. Okay. Yeah, still haven't done anything to the. I don't think that's going to be water and power, because there's already a nuclear lab, and I don't see the point. The point of that. Let's see. Let's put some panes in here first, though. Okay. Something else that I have done, I've done since last video, is I've also rearranged the storage around a little bit, so that we now have ingots in one area, machines in others, dust over here, and then the rest is miscellaneous, as you can tell. And I've also been trying to keep at least 20 of the machines here, because I go through a lot of things like the electric motors for the electric stuff, the batteries. Well, the batteries are over here, but I'll go through a lot of batteries for stuff. I'll also change this around a little bit. Once you become a vault citizen, this room will be usable. If items drop below 20 or max out, please let Logan know. And which which then comes to my next point. We still have not figured out if we want to actually open the server up to just anyone and everyone, or if we want to make it available exclusively for those that that follow through YouTube, or not. Obviously, our close friends that do play Minecraft or are thinking of, you know, trying to find a spot to play Minecraft are obviously fully welcome. But we're not sure what to do about the vast populace. We've had issues. We have had issues in the past where if we, you know, fully open up a server, then then people will come in just to grief the crap out of you because they can. I mean, that's something I want to prevent. Also at some point I'll probably be building a marketplace, so that those that aren't obviously members of the vault, and are actually just out there making their their home or whatever, and would like some of these that they can, because I was experimenting a little bit. Let's see if the plugin is still here for it. Oops. Bookshelf, Skyblock, Slimefun, Auto Get Late, Score. Yeah, the plugin is actually called Shopkeepers. So we'll do Shopkeepers. Another shop type. Okay. Let's see. Shop type and object type. Let's see real quick. Shopkeepers help. Because I've only ever messed with this plugin like once, and I held on to it because it has a lot of a lot of potential. Let's see. I don't see. Go commands. Debug, reload, help. Okay, so shop type, I don't know. To be completely shop type. I wonder if they're talking about player. Object type. We'll do player. See what that does. Okay. So I gotten this to work like once before. Set for higher. Help reload, debug, list. Let's see. So I don't remember having to. I wonder if I did it like this. No. So I gotten this to work on the main world. Let's see. Shop types. Default available. Admin shop types are only admin currently. Default shop player types are normal. Object types. Sign, citizen, etc. Okay, so let's do shopkeepers normal. We'll do citizen. Seriously? Oops. I'd laugh if I needed the brackets. Nope. Alright. I'll have to look into that further, because it's also possible that it was only set up for the main world. Okay, so the main point of today's episode was to go work on the nuclear reactor, which I've moved the parts over here from the nuclear room. And obviously I have 2 lead ingots, a cooling unit, and a blistering ingot. And I still need another blistering ingot and 3 plates. And 3 reinforced alloy plates, which so far those are becoming the ones that are a pain in the butt. I think I just passed it. Yep. So I need 3 reinforced plates, and each plate requires 8 reinforced alloy ingots. So you can share in my frustrations. Need a carbonado, edged capacitor, which means I need, it would be nice if those weigh, because I'm in creative mode, I was able to do this with a lot of the machines, the capacitors included, where I was able to take them and line them up on the floor and then break them, and then I'd have that as as copies, or doubles or whatever, because Slimefun items don't actually have item ID numbers, so you can't just say give player carbonado whatever, because there's no, because there's no way to. So, one would really either have to spend the time and either actually physically sit there and build everything like you would in survival, or in creative, sit here and line them all out, and then break them all up. Now, I wouldn't expect anyone that comes onto the server to do that. I would expect myself to. I would expect Sage to, because we're the the owners of the operators of the server. So obviously, Aternos is the owner of the server. But yeah. Okay, so let's make some uranium. I do have some here. These are tiny piles of uranium, which you do not need to have a hazmat suit for. Let's see. Is uranium on the list? Tools, resources. Uranium! Uranium is made from 369 blocks of tiny piles of uranium, which radiation level is low, so you don't need a hazmat suit. And it's from using a pure oil cluster in an ore crusher. And you get a pure ore crusher. Talk right, wow. By pulverized ore in an ore washer. And you get that from crushed ore in an ore crusher, or sifted ore in an ore crusher. So what we're going to do is going to grab, first of all, yeah, that's right. This over here, 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 and I don't need that again because I already have that in the shop. I'm going to grab gravel for sifted ore and run that through the electric gold pan here. And I already have this set up for sifted ore and clay. Once the nuke reactor is done and built, I'll actually go through and update these machines, because this one works at 1 by, whereas the next one I think is like 4 or 5 by. I don't fully remember. Okay, so I have 47 pieces of sifted ore. That should actually work out good for now. Run this through our ore grinder here. And this gives me crushed ore. And then I'll run that through a crusher again to get pulverized ore. What just happened? Okay. Thought the machine reverted there for a minute. Again, ore grinder I think is another machine that I can upgrade. But I won't upgrade it till after the reactor has been built. And then once the first reactor is built, I can build more after that. So I can have like insane amounts of power. I was attempting to do some research on the nuclear reactors as to exactly how much space is required, and it does not actually say. It just says that the reactor needs to be completely surrounded or submerged in water, and it needs to be around the reactor coolant rods. So it'll be a very interesting experiment, I think. I've only ever seen one of these built, and that was on Adultcraft before the reset. It was one single reactor, I believe. It was built for Laffy by a person who didn't return after the reset. But yeah. Oh, is it nighttime already? It is nighttime, and that is the only bad thing about solar panels slash generators. That's okay. Time set day. So then that goes back. This will also be something that I won't have to do after the reactor is built. It'll take a few minutes for that capacitor there to fill up. Okay, so I have 29 pieces of crushed ore, and I'll run that back through, and that should give me pulverized ore. Yep, so worried there for a minute. And then I will run that through the washer to get pure ore cluster. So I think the washer was here. No, it's pulverizer. I think the washer and the grinder are the one and the same. Don't remember. My memory's fuzzy today. Okay. Okay, so obviously it's not. It's not that. Trying to think. Washer in or washer? I could have sworn I had one. It's an electric one. Let's see. There's a crusher and grindstone in one. Don't I have an ore washer over here somewhere? This pusher chamber. Power washer. Doot doot doot. See, the mine's starting to go. This will now become a pure ore cluster, which then use me. Let's see, uranium. No, use me again and again and again. So we take the ore cluster and run it back through the crusher, and we'll get the tiny piles of uranium. Oh, okay. Now I do try to keep copper dust in here when I run gravel through here, or the sifted ore through here, because just about everything I'm building has copper dust in it in one way or another. And we'll run these. These back through the grinder. We should get tiny petals of uranium. Yep, there we go. Alright, then we'll take this and just run this in a enhanced crafting table, which is back over here. Like I said, I have not found an electric version of these yet. Small chunk of uranium. Run back over here. Yes, yes, yes. What do you stop? I'll stop here in a couple of minutes. Okay. Oh, apparently I still had another tiny pile in there. Okay, so that should be enough to make one more moderate pile for a small chunk. I gotta work fast because I really don't want the. Oh, too late. And then for obviously make. 4 small chunks of uranium and advanced crafting table. It's supposed to make a giant piece of... Could not recognize pattern. Is it in the wrong area? Maybe? Yep, that was it. This is highly potent, so we'll move that over there. Now this piece of uranium gets mixed. Now I do apologize for the meowing kittens in the background. One of the house cats had 2 kittens, and they're very cute, very cute. So we'll go back over to Nuclear Reactor. And we need to make the another blistering ingot. So we'll take the other piece of 24 karat gold that's in here, and we'll mix that with the uranium in the pressure chamber. Again, gotta work fast. Too late. In survival, if you hold on to a piece of uranium for about 5 minutes, your person's dead. Sunset. Okay, it's just taking this time. There is no upgrade for the heated pressure chamber, so the speed that it goes at is the speed that it goes at. Yeah. Okay, so we now have our blistering ingot. 33% blistering ingot. Mix that with block carbonado. Excuse me, which is from raw carbonado, which is a glass pane, a carbon chunk, and a synthetic diamond. So, and with that, get rid of these. Because what I'll need to do is I'll need to take the coal and run it through the compressor over here to get the carbon. And then I need to compress it again to get compressed carbon. So I have 6 pieces of compressed carbon, and I'm actually going to need just a little more than that. I'll take another stack here, run that through. The compressor is also another machine I have not found an electric version for, which is fine. Okay, and then we take that compressed carbon over to our advanced crafting table after I grab a piece of flint. And I was actually thinking about this the other day, because I'm like, you know, I usually get all this flint what use does it really have? Well, it has uses. It does have a use. Do that. We'll do that. We'll do that. So we now have a carbon chunk. We'll run that carbon chunk through the pressure chamber over here. Let's put this up on the top. We'll hit the cauldron. And we now have a synthetic diamond. Cool stuff, right? Synthetic diamond is also what you need to make the explosive pickaxe. So I need another carbon chunk, which means I'm going to need another piece of flint. So I'll get that before we start. And looking at 5 stacks of coal by the looks of it. And the compressor. Okay, and then we're left with 6 pieces of compressed carbon. I'll compress the rest of these. Alright, that leaves me with 10, which is probably a little more than I need, but that's alright.
You said 10, it's 11.
Huh?
You said 10, it was 11. Otherwise you...
No, it's 10.
Yeah, my brain's not here. Good morning, everyone. It's still early morning for me.
Oh. It's been early for me since 4 AM.
Oh, I didn't go to bed until... I kept waking up, like, all night long, so I finally passed out around 3 AM.
That's right, when I got up, he was still up.
Well, I'm standing here, and your cat is making me pet her.
Oh, well.
Pet me, scratch my ears.
Let me take a... Oops.
GLAS.
Yeah, I know, if I can spell, that's what happens when you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. But anyways, then we run all of that through a smelter. Or rather, through the smelter. So it's glass pane, the carbon chunk, and the synthetic diamond. And we get our raw carbonado, which is then ran through the pressure chamber. And we get carbonado. And we come back over to the pressure chamber, take the blistering ingot and the piece of carbonado. And that should give us our blistering ingot. Should give us our blistering ingot. Oh yeah, that's right. Nope, I'm still gonna mix it with another star for it to become a blistering ingot. Now it should become a blistering ingot. Is it nighttime? Yeah, it's nighttime. I know it's a pain, but you know what? It is something that happens that when you have a solar array. Making blistering ingots.
Ah. I'm making Pernides.
Yeah. And we now have our blistering ingot. And as you can see, high radiation that requires a hazmat suit. That I still have not been able to figure out how to build.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, so hurry up and take this, toss it in the box. Again, if you hold on to it, a few minutes. Start to get all woozy. You start to wonder, what did I just drink?
Why'd you drink all the sake?
Because the rum was gone.
But why was the rum gone?
Because I couldn't find the sake.
Yeah, that makes no sense, but it's okay.
Alright, so next thing I'm going to go ahead and try and build here, if I have the time. I got a few more minutes. Is the carbonated edged capacitor. I'll need to actually build a bunch of these redstone alloy ingots.
Redstone alloy ingots.
Yeah. See, because I'm gonna end up needing 4 of them. So let's go make some ferrosilicon. Oops. Ferrosilicon is an iron ingot, iron dust, and silicon. Which I actually do have here. Just gotta find it. Right there. Oops. Grab our ingots. And our iron dust. We race on back. Over to the smelter. And we have ferrosilicon.
You know, if you put them all in at once, on top of each other.
Actually, that doesn't always work. Most of the time it does, but not always. Which is why I sit here and do it one at a time. To make sure that it actually works right.
You get zombie flesh.
Mm-hmm.
Zombie seed flesh.
Alright, and then I need hardened metal, which is Damascus steel, duralumin, compressed carbon, which I have some of that already, and aluminum bronze. So, okay, so Damascus steel is steel, iron ingot, and iron dust. Do I have any of that? Oh, that's all ore. Okay. So, and steel is iron ingot, iron dust, and carbon.
So you need a lot more carbon.
Which I'll grab a stack of this. Whoops. Apparently I'm throwing stuff around the room.
Sounds like you.
Hmm. There's our carbon. In here, grab some iron dust. I'll just grab a little bit so I don't have to keep running back and forth. Okay, so we got iron dust, ingot, and carbon. And we have our steel. So I gotta make 4 of these. Yeah, I thought so. That's the problem I have. Okay, so that's it's forced 4 steel ingots. Then there's the iron dust, and our carbon. And there's our Damascus steel. Okay, then we're gonna do duralumin, which is aluminum, copper, and aluminum dust. So we'll go run back. Iron dust over here. Iron ingots over here. Grab a full stack since I have enough aluminum dust. Probably way more aluminum dust than I probably need. And a visitor. That's no more.
But that was Stanley Creeper.
That's okay. Really?
What? What's wrong with Stanley Creeper?
Who's creeping?
Well, duh. That's what he's named after.
Okay, so I have our... Do I have any copper in here? Oops. 8 pieces of copper. that. Filter out some more copper.
Oh my god. My stuff changed. You need lots more.
And
So,
we have our dulumen.
do you have to use the flint and steel in order to be able to use it?
Yes, because I haven't figured out a surefire way of keeping the nether rack lit.
Staying lit over where I need it.
Different situation. I'm using it in the machine.
No. Well, it's a good thing I asked because maybe our viewers don't know.
Yeah, that's possible. Actually, Laffy knows a way to keep that lit using a redstone clock, but I don't know the full extent out of it.
Because that'd be really cool in my city.
Well, redstone. Okay, well, redstone clock is a Slimefun item. And
yeah, but could you
I have a
imagine
bunch,
my medieval city with a giant clock tower that actually works? Come on, that's epic.
You do know okay? A redstone clock. All it is a block of redstone that flashes on and off.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
But come on, you could say it's the town clock. Actually, you could use a redstone clock to make a lighthouse.
Some more copper. As I said.
My goal for today: start my new village.
Alright, in order to make bronze, we need copper ingot, copper dust, and tin dust. Which I do have. Just gotta go get it. Okay, so. Oops. Oh, use me again. See, because the smelter uses the fire of the netherrack to smelt.
Gotcha.
And depending upon how much smelting power is needed, it will depend on whether that stays lit or it goes out.
Gotcha. Well, I like my way of like lighting up my hallways and stuff using the fire.
Yeah.
Just because I think that it gave it a more lifelike appearance, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Be glad we are using concrete instead of wood. Because fire would actually burn through the wood.
That only happens with lava.
I did it with fire too once. I set a tree on fire on accident. Caused an entire forest fire.
Yeah, this is why we don't trust you with that.
It was an accident! But it was pretty.
My wife, the arsonist.
I am not an arsonist. I just happen to be insane. I think fire on Minecraft is really, really pretty. I don't know why. It's that like fake pixelish fire, and I find it really pretty.
Yeah. We need 2, 3, 4 aluminum ingots. Then our bronze ingots. Oops. Then our aluminum dust. And we have our aluminum bronze ingot. Is that right? Yeah. uh,
Well, no, I'm confused, but that's okay.
how are you confused?
Because you said you needed the other ingots plus Damascus plus the other.
But I have to make them first. I have to make those ingots because they're part of Slimefun.
But if you're using the
Aluminium?
and the redstone ingots for other things, then aren't you gonna have to make more for the thing that you need?
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Okay, so in order to make the hardened metal, which is what I needed to make,
Okay.
I take the Damascus steel,
Uh-huh.
which I made over here, the aluminum bronze, which I made here, and the duralumin, which is right here, plus the compressed carbon
Okay.
into our smelter.
I apologize, folks. I'm slightly slow today.
You're fine.
Maybe it's lack of sleep.
And we have our hardened metal.
How many of those do we need?
4, because I need to make 4 redstone alloy. Put this together here real quick. Matter of fact, the only thing I need to make more of is carbon! Because, why not? And a stack of 64 coal.
Yeah.
And a compressor only
Like
gives you,
8.
huh?
8.
Yeah, it only gives you 8 pieces of carbon. And then when you compress it, it only gives you 2 pieces of compressed carbon. It does make sense in a way. And there's our 4 pieces of hardened metal. You need hardened metal, silicon, blocks of redstone, and regular redstone, which I also have.
Redstone for days.
Which the block I put over on this side. You only need 4 of those. And the dust is over here. You need 4 of those. But yes, I have ingredients for days.
For days.
For days. We now have our redstone alloy ingot.
Yeah, more to make.
Hmm?
So now we have more to make.
Yes, yes we do. Oops.
Does it matter how you actually put it in there, or?
Mm-hmm. Sometimes the order doesn't matter, but most of the time it does.
Okay. Well, I know when I use Shapeless Craft, it just lets me.
Yeah. Yeah, but these will all go into because you have to smelt it using a smeltery.
But I like my smeltery from my other game better. It's big, it's black. You put it in, with some lava in the tank, and it smelts it down for you. And
Alright.
you can't do that in this.
The last thing I need is a medium capacitor, which I also have. I only need one of these. And when I put this in here, this will actually turn this into a large capacitor. So I put that in the smelter too? No, it goes in the crafting table. Okay, so that goes there. That goes there. And the 2 pieces of redstone dust.
You can just grab it from your inventory. Need to save time.
If I was trying to save time, I would do it all on the fly. See, was there anything else I needed? The steel ingots that I completely forgot to make. No, apparently I needed 4 steel ingots, which means I'll need 8 steel ingots. Which means I need more carbon. Run this back through here.
I'd get out and be your lab assistant, but I can't be.
Go ahead and compress that down to 4. Grab iron dust and iron ingots. Go make some steel. Well, Minecraft steel anyway. Because, you know, Minecraft steel breaks brains.
Yeah, it's confusing why you have to do that, because that's not how you actually make steel in real life.
And I messed that up already. Come on. That's how I had it. What am I missing? Oh, I see why. Well, messed that up. You see my mistake?
No.
I compressed the carbon when I wasn't supposed to. That's okay, because I got a spot for compressed carbon. There's our steel. I'm going to use just 4 for the moment. And we now have our big energy capacitor, which stores 1024 joules of power.
Which is a lot of power.
That is a lot of power.
But it's not enough power.
It's never enough power. My wife taps me on the shoulder because she's sitting here next to me, and she's holding the cat. And then a few minutes later, she taps me on the shoulder again, and then she's holding the dog.
I'm magic. I turned my cat into a dog.
Cool. Now changing back. I see what you did there.
I treated them out.
Oh gosh.
Did you smell though?
This is true.
That's all that matters. Smiling.
Smile.
Cause everybody come on, put a smile on. Can I have a sip of your monster?
Not much of it left. Oh yeah, that's right. I need the medium capacitors for that.
That is really sweet.
It's been sitting in front of the window. It's actually kind of chill. Just the way I like it.
Is this yours?
Why did someone grab one? Who is that? Sammy?
Yeah.
We'll put our medium capacitor obviously in the middle again. And we now have a second one. You know what I just realized? I could have made a whole batch of big capacitors if I happened to make all the ingredients over again.
Yeah, you know why?
Creative.
Yeah. You only have to make one.
This is what I was doing earlier. Just so I don't have to, like, you know, rebuild these. Because, you know, that starts becoming a pain after a while.
Fix my floor.
Excuse you?
What do you need?
Well, I'll end up putting these into storage.
Okay, so...
Okay, so... And then... Oh, okay, so... Big energy is not a large energy. Large energy is 8100 joules of power.
So is big better than large?
Large is... well, larger than big. But,
That's for next time.
Yep, I'm 25 minutes over, but that's okay because it's all for the sake of science. It's Minecraft science, but it's science. Until next time, I will see everybody later.
Bye-bye.